Welcome everybody to Nurse Chevrolet Cadillac, where we know it's the little things that count. Today we're here to showcase this 2022 Infiniti QX80 Sensory Edition. Now this has just under 38,000 kilometers on it. It has no accident history. And if you're wondering what color this is, well, it is a flat gun metallic wrap. That's right, this has been wrapped in a gun metallic. It is absolutely fantastic. It's very flat, has that cool sheen on it. It's a very, very unique piece here at Nurse Chevrolet Cadillac. Now underneath that wrap is a silver color. We'll show you that when we get to the inside of the door panel. Now, the purpose of this video is to showcase the amazing features on this QX80, as well as the interior and exterior condition. So let's jump right into it. Underneath the hood, the Infiniti QX80 features a 5.6 liter V8 engine, all connected to a 7-speed automatic transmission. And this is a 4-wheel drive SUV. This is not an all-wheel drive like a lot of vehicles out there. This is a 4-wheel drive, which allows you a lot of different capability and more control over the, well, 4-wheel drive system as opposed to all-wheel drive. So a lot of people prefer that, especially when you are towing. It is a little bit more predictable and you can choose what you want versus the all-wheel drive kind of does it for you. So that's one of the unique things with a 4-wheel drive vehicle. Now, the Sensory Edition features these fantastic looking 22-inch gun metallic alloy wheels, which obviously match this fantastic looking wrap. And then we've got this beautiful looking chrome emblem here in the front fender. Now, as we're doing this tour, you do not need to be a detective. I will show you dings, dents, scratches if we find any. That's the purpose of the video, so that way you know the condition of this QX80 in case you're considering buying it from us here at Nurse Chevy Cadillac. Now, we have the piano black mirrors. They are a power folding mirror as well. Taking a step back, you can see this is a full-size SUV, 7-passenger seating. That second row features a very similar, it's almost like a captain's chair with a really nice center console, which we'll see when we get to the inside. But let's continue around to the back. You can see this is a big vehicle. This is 7 adult passengers at its finest. This is very luxurious when we get to the inside here. Now, having a look on the back, you got the nice LED taillights, the QX80 badge, and then this beautiful aluminum rear trunk finisher, which means that we don't scratch up that top part of the bumper here when we load things in and out, which is great. And then nice reflectors in the back. I did notice one little thing here right in this tow hitch cover. It's got just a little nick in here and a little scratch through the paint. And then just over here on the side of the bumper, you can almost not see it, but there is just a little mark right here. It's so hard to see it, but there's a little mark there. It's not really a big deal, very cosmetic. Speaking of the tow hitch cover, this does have an integrated tow hitch into it. It also features trailer sway control, and you can tow up to 8,500 pounds with this QX80, which is just fantastic. Again, as I mentioned towing in the start of the video, you know, being able to tow with a 7-passenger vehicle is definitely something that you might be looking for. And if you're looking to do that, this QX80 is the right truck for you. Now, you can see with these rear seats up, there's still actually decent cargo space here. You could definitely fit 2 big luggages in here in case you were headed to the airport or up to the cottage or something like that. We have the fold down rear seats. You can see that right here. They are power folding, which is great. It takes a little bit of time, but it saves you having to work your arm muscles and bring them up and down. All right, we'll return those back just so we can continue on. But yeah, really, I mean, convenient feature to have them like that. Close up the trunk here. We'll continue our tour around to the passenger side. I mean, have a look at that flat gun metallic wrap. It is stellar on this car. Really, I mean, if this wasn't luxurious enough, having it wrapped, I mean, come on. That's pretty cool, right? Now, as we come around to the front, we have the LED adaptive headlights. That's part of the Sensory package. So they're auto leveling adaptive headlights, meaning that they will turn as you turn the steering wheel with the road, so that way you get a better view of what's ahead if you're taking corners. And then we have the LED fog lights down below. You'll notice too, there is front and rear parking sensors on the QX80. It's a big girl, sometimes you need a little bit of help, but getting in and out of parking spots is very helpful with the parking sensors, but also it does have the around view camera, which you will see when we get inside. All right, now let's do that. Let's hop in, because hey, let's face it, if you're gonna buy this vehicle, it's because you need to haul around some passengers with you. And why wouldn't you want to haul them in this? Have a look. So this is what I was talking about when it features captain's chairs. So we have this beautiful quilted leather, only available in the Sensory. These are heated outboard rear seats. So these back passengers get some nice heat. Other one here. So there's no rips, tears, stains, or burns in any of the leather seats here. Smells fantastic. It is a non-smoker vehicle. Now we have this beautiful center console here, cup holders built in, nice big box down here for what? Well, have a look. These are headphones. They're brand new. They're in the plastic still, not even open, because the QX80 Sensory features dual 8-inch DVD and entertainment system in the back. You can actually connect HDMI to it as well. Have a look here. So the HDMI and USB inputs there, which is just fantastic. SD card behind it. Have a look here. Right? So cool. So dual headrest entertainment system. We also have the heated seats, like I mentioned, and then tri-zone climate control. So the rear passengers have their own independent temperatures. And then check this out. This is really cool. You have another storage box up here that does not interfere with the driver and passenger armrest storage as well. Really, really neat design. More USB ports down here to keep everything plugged in and charged up. And then we even have a home outlet down here. You can see that there. So if you've got maybe the Xbox or the PlayStation that you want to keep plugged in here, so that way the kids can enjoy the longer drive to the cottage, not a problem. Now, to get into the back seat, just give this a pull, and look at that. Tumbles forward, super easy to hop into the back. And then having a look back here, you can see these seats are in great shape as well. All right, and then power reclining third row seat right there. So you can see you just push that button and those third row seats will power recline back to get very comfortable in case you're in the third row. Rock, paper, scissors to whoever has to sit back in the third row with the kids, right? Bose stereo system, so a 17 speaker Bose stereo in the Sensory. That is again exclusive to the Sensory. And then before we go, I forgot to show you down here. So we do have the WeatherTech floor liners throughout this vehicle. Obviously protecting their floors, that's the best thing to have for them. So you can just tell, I mean, somebody having the WeatherTech means that obviously they cared for this vehicle if the wrap didn't tell you itself. Now here we are, as I mentioned when we opened up the door, this is the OEM factory color. It's a really nice looking silver. I mean, kudos to them for wrapping it, but if you ever eventually want to take off the wrap, you've got this beautiful silver paint underneath. Now we've got the driver and front passenger seats, this quilted leather again, exclusive to the Sensory. Fantastic, nice wide seats, very plush, very luxurious. We've got, excuse me, a power driver's seat with power lumbar support. And that is all hooked up to, as well, a power tilt and telescopic steering wheel, hooked up to your power mirrors and a 2-driver memory system. So driver 1, driver 2, you get in, the mirrors, the steering wheel, and the seat all go back to that driver's setting, which is great because obviously, let's face it, different heights, different configurations for drivers. This is the best way to do it. Now we'll just look down here real quick because it's easier to view this here than anywhere else. Heated leather wrapped steering wheel. This is to flip down those rear seats. If you got somebody who maybe has their hand full, you can hit the buttons there, they'll flip down, turning on and off the power door as well if you wanted to do that. And then this button here controls the Infiniti advanced safety features, which we're going to talk about right now as soon as I hop in this bad boy. Let's get in. All right, so Infiniti features a plethora of amazing safety features, as you would imagine, being that this is a luxury vehicle. So forward emergency braking with pedestrian detection, obviously, that's just kind of almost a standard feature nowadays. We have automatic reverse braking. So as you're backing this up, it's going to use those rear sensors to detect if you're about to bump into something, maybe the camera's dirty or whatever, it'll stop for you in case you get too close, which is great. We have lane departure warning, but also lane departure intervention. So that means as you're driving, it is checking and keeping the QX80 in the middle of the road. If you happen to start to drift out, maybe you're paying attention to something else, it will actively engage to bring the car back into the center of the lane and keep you tracking that way. That's the intervention portion. And it also has blind spot warning, which you'll see there's an amber light here, but blind spot intervention as well. Same idea. If you ignore the warning sign for some reason, you go to make a lane change and there's a car in your blind spot, it will actively put you back into your lane, so that way you don't make a lane change with a car there. That is the intervention portion. This is where the safety features really get great, because not only are they warning you, but if for some reason you ignore the warning, or it's too late for whatever reason, the intervention kicks in to keep you out of those situations. Hopefully, cross your fingers. Excuse me. Now, as we were mentioning, with the automatic reverse braking, I want to show you the around view camera, because this is a fantastic thing to have. So you can see here we have a regular rear view camera on the left and then an around view on the top. So that means as you're backing up, you can put this thing in between the lines perfectly every time. And it just makes things a little bit easier. But also what you get with that, when we put it into drive, you can activate the camera feature, and now we have a different view. So we've got a front view of the vehicle. So if you're trying to park into a garage or a really tight parking spot and you're pulling in, you're going to have that front camera, so that way you can get close, but not too close. So again, really nice thing to have. Now, as you noticed here, might as well slide over here for just a second. So we have this fantastic 13-inch touch screen display. This operates very similar to an iPad in the sense that you've got customized menus and widgets here on your home screen. You can slide it and continue to add what you like and kind of set up this display for how you prefer it to be. This is your Sirius satellite radio data, so traffic, sports, the weather, all that is available by subscription, of course. Your clock, your home screen menus, all there. When we go to audio, for that 17-speaker Bose stereo system, you've got XM satellite radio, Bluetooth audio, but what you're really going to use, let's be honest, is the wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. That's right, this is a wireless Apple CarPlay Android Auto system. All your connected apps are here, your digital music, your navigation if you want to use Waze or Google Maps or whatever. Yes, this does have onboard nav, obviously, but let's face it, if you don't want to subscribe to Sirius XM radio, you can get all your real-time traffic information from your phone. That's what I would do. That's what I suggest you do. And then of course you can reply back to text messages using your voice rather than picking your phone, which we all want you to do here. Sliding down the center console. So we have that tri-zone climate control that we were talking about here. You can see driver, passenger, and then the rear temperature. Now you can lock out the rear temperature. You can see here, we can have it that we control it. So maybe you got little kids in the back that like to push buttons all the time. You can lock it out so that way mom and dad control the temperature back there. We've got heated and cooled front seats for the driver and passenger. So obviously in the wintertime or the summertime, we can prepare the seats and the cabin the way we want before we get in the car, because this does feature a remote starter. I'll show you that on the key fob. I didn't remote start it today because I wanted to show you the headlights. The headlights won't turn on with the remote start. But here's a remote starter, top button there. When you use that, it will automatically adjust the climate control to get the vehicle to the exact temperature that you want before you hop in, which is exactly the purpose of a remote start. Now down here, we got a little secret container here because we have a wireless phone charger just tucked in right beneath this panel here. But I love it. You can't even really see it, but there is kind of like, you might see it here. Yeah, there we go. There is a nice wood grain finish on this, but it's not that cheesy wood grain. This is a very nice touch. They don't put a lot of it in the vehicle. You can see a little bit up top there, but they don't put a lot, but where they put it really does the finishing touches for this to make it like a very luxurious looking interior. Now, down here's our command controller. This controls the touchscreen system up top. So if you don't want to, as a driver, have to reach across here, it's very easy with your arm on the armrest to control all of it here. This is a dial you can push down. All of the buttons here are really nice, quick, easy controls, and then our camera control as well. You don't need to use that, but that's if you want to engage the front camera. Now, the four-wheel drive system control is right here. So you can see we have automatic, 4 high and 4 low, which means you can control how that four-wheel drive works. You'll notice we have the snow mode as well and tow mode. So if you are towing the 8,500 pound capacity, put it on tow mode. It's going to change how the transmission operates, so that way you're not hunting for gears when you're pulling heavy weight. Couple more USB ports down here, USB-C, USB-A, and then kind of out of order, let's slide back over here to the steering wheel, because we do have, like I mentioned, that heated leather wrap steering wheel. Our controls here for our onboard display up top. So you can see we've got a couple of different settings that we can go through here for the vehicle. You've got your compass, your fuel economy, your navigation, lots of different options for what you want to see into this center gauges here. And then down the right side, we have our intelligent cruise control. So it obviously matches the speed of the vehicle in front of you and keeps a nice safe distance. You don't have to get on and off the accelerator pedal and the brake pedal. It does it automatically, which is fantastic. Now, last but not least, and this is the most important thing with regards to the condition of this vehicle that you really want to see, this is the CarFax. So 2022 Infiniti QX80, ignore the Lux, it is actually the Sensory edition as we went through all those features. No accident history, no damage found, registered in Ontario, 8 service records found on the CarFax. Doesn't mean that was all of them, but there's 8 service records found. Only 37,993 kilometers. I mean, they couldn't have had to do much, just your oil changes. But what Nurse Chevy Cadillac does is we can recondition the vehicle so that way you have an amazing purchase experience. You're just coming in for oil changes after this, the brakes, the tires, everything has been up to date with maintenance, so that way you have a nice, enjoyable experience. So we've done a lube, oil, and filter change. We've done a 4-wheel alignment. We've done the replaced the cabin air filter, replaced the engine air filter, put nitrogen in the tires. All in all, we've spent $1,813 to get this vehicle ready and prepared for the new owner. So that way you have a fantastic QX80 to drive home in for you and your family. And let's face it, guys, if you've got a big family, you want to ride around in style, you want to keep the kids entertained in the back, maybe you want to tow some toys behind you as well, what better vehicle than this 2022 Infiniti QX80 Sensory right here at Nurse Chevy Cadillac in the heart of Whitby. So easy to get to from pretty much anywhere in Ontario. We have a fantastic sales team ready here to help you purchase this Infiniti from your friends at Nurse. Again, it's the little things that count. We know it, and that's why we do amazing videos like this for you on our used vehicles. So thanks so much for watching, and congratulations to whoever takes home this absolutely fantastic SUV.